Welcome to another edition of the Spoken Word, Cool Clear Water. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I was planning on sticking with the founding documents. But the Civil War was one of the most decisive, divisive, and deadly times in American history. On the 19th of November in the year 1863, then President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, went to a battlefield and delivered one of the greatest and thankfully shortest, or I would not have been able to commit it to memory, speeches, addresses in American presidential history. He was presiding over a nation torn in two. Divisions in this nation are growing by the day sometimes now. And I think it important to look back to the last time our country stood so divided and hear what someone who fought for unity had to say. And so I give you Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note, nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead should not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Lincoln did not speak from the White House. There was no radio, no television, no internet. He spoke to a small gathering. Many of them the men who were digging the graves for the soldiers who had died. In this time of division, let us come together. Most of what divides us are petty issues. Let us remember the cost of taking those issues too far and resolve that such a division in this country should never happen again. Thank you.